In Civ 6 or Civilization 6, technology and education is everything. Powerful units, bonuses to tourism, winning the space race, and getting to ask Khrushchev what Ligma is all require the tech tree to be as advanced as fast as possible. With the obvious best thing about the science tree being the science victory, I'm going to be discussing 5 mistakes in Civ 6, worse than Blockbuster not buying Netflix, that will let you win science victories a lot faster than you currently are. Hold on to your socks, because this might come as a shocker. Focusing on science early is a mistake. Blasphemy, they say, but hear me out. Early game, getting a campus here or there is fine probably, and honestly necessary for those sub 200 wins. But when we're focusing on trying to win normal random games, you need to think more long term. Questions like getting that giant PP early game, as well as figuring out whether Montezuma wants your people as sacrificial captives or not, are ones that come to the forefront of the mind. The early build order should always be a mixture of a monument, units, government plaza, and settlers and builders, where the campus should only be locked in and only built when you're waiting on these aforementioned things to build. Getting 10 cities and turn 80 campuses is a lot better than getting 5 cities and turn 50 campuses. These are just examples out of my mind, don't take them like as gospel or whatever. The amount of cities give you more potential for everything, including science in the mid to late game, and should be prioritized. Meanwhile, getting units for a defense force is important for not only early barbs that spawn 4 tiles away from my cities, any early aggressors you might face, which will almost always happen with a weak or non-existent military. Government Plaza is great for Ancestral Hall to get more settlers and free builders for those new cities, and even the tech path should be different, as mining or making love to animal husbandry will give you the potential to build mines, quarries, and pastures for more production, and it will let you build everything faster. You might even need bronze working to clear out some tiles to make some god campuses in the first place. Taking the time to explore and find the best possible places to build your campus is better than placing one down, than finding out the next tile had double the adjacency you just placed. The age-old argument, Cheez-Its or Goldfish, Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Lucky Charms, Pingala or Magnus. This really shouldn't be an argument, as Pingala's bonuses are really nice early on, but they fall off super hard in the late game. One science and culture per population early game is amazing, and with that 15% early game boost that you get immediately, it's not as good, but is still potentially decent in the early game. Not to mention the great people you get with his tier 3 promotion, but the 30% production towards space parts is nowhere near as much as what Magnus can give you. Let's take a look at what Chadgnus ends up giving you in the end. Extra chop yields, which lets you finish everything much quicker, more food early game, making your cities bigger faster, and more district slots early on. No population loss when building settlers is amazing early game, as you'll be saving 8 to 10 population at least. And vertical integration. The magnum dong swung on the table. Getting production from every nearby industrial zone within 6 tiles is huge. With proper planning, you will be able to get triple-digit production from vertical integration at least, as you combine it with your own +6 or 7 industrial zone and the Ruhr Valley. Build some mines and quarries around, and you're looking at spaceports building so fast, you'll miss it if you blink. Magnus is almost always the better choice for the late game to build him to completion first, as the only reason I'd build Pingala early game is if I needed the science or culture for an early war, or if I already got provision on Magnus to get those free settlers, and I just need a little bit extra science and culture in my other cities. Don't not build Pingala, you're definitely going to want to promote him, but in the super early game and the late game, it's all Magnus, baby. You want to get provision first, and then after getting a couple Pingala promotion, you beeline down that vertical integration, which is way too important for you in the late game, as space races are all about production. Every science game needs to have 3 strong production cities, and a big mistake is focusing on science more than production in those cities. While you're all asking me, TCLR, your 3 brain cells must have worked overtime in yesterday's disaster save. Tell them to wake up, because this isn't right. I shouldn't build science at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying things need to be planned out for the future, and one of those things is production. Getting 3 really strong production cities lets you build spaceports faster, and while you can only build spaceports in one city, getting those exoplanet expedition boosters in all 3 cities will let you cut out about 5 to 6 turns in the late game when your cities don't have anything else to build. Most cities should just focus on science, yes, but you need a production base because spaceports and parts are more expensive than gas prices in California right now. So you need to prioritize production in your 3 main cities, get Ruhr Valley, get the industrial zone, get Magnus in those cities, so even if you're behind in science, all the production you have will let you build spaceship parts a lot faster than everybody else, saving you, in most cases, potentially 50 total turns by getting more production in those cities. Getting an industrial zone in a really good campus spot is worth it if you could double your potential late game production. There's a reason why Germany is better at science, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, than Korea. They are both top-tier science civs, don't get me wrong, straight up there in the S tier along with Babylon at everything else. But getting German production, which can lead to 5-turn space parts, is a lot better than making 100 to 200 extra science with Korea's abilities. Don't neglect science, no, but plan mainly production in the 3 cities, usually your capital and 2 others, and have the most mines and potential production around them to get super powerful spaceports and eventually exoplanet expedition boosters, the reason you need 3. I don't really care that about 84% of you are unsubscribed. I just want to get that number down to 69% for the memes, so if you do enjoy, leave a like and subscribe if you want to help me achieve my goals. A lot of the time, by the time you get to the mid to late game in science victories, you'll get to a point where you are super far ahead of 1 or 2 of your neighbors technologically. Unlike the Ethiopians against the Italians, you really can't win against a technologically superior force in this game, and a couple of planes and some armor will let you take out enemy civs in record time. By doing this, you're essentially absorbing all the cities the AI has so kindly built for you over the last 200 turns. Take it and you will increase your yields almost immediately and will even get a couple of massive production cities that might help you build those late game space parts. Add in a couple of wonders you might take and here and there, and not going to war when you are that far ahead is a mistake. Even though you won't get as many yields as going after another technologically superior force, with the tech lead you have, you will be able to take out the lower tech civ a lot faster with limited difficulties and get all the benefits almost immediately without having to repair too much and deal with as many loyalty problems. Bonus tip: aim for civs in Dark Ages as they will be a lot easier to hold onto loyalty-wise, which can make consolidating your newly integrated territory a lot easier. If you want, you can go after other technologically superior foes that are about as strong as you technologically, but I would highly recommend going after the weaker foes, as again, they're easier to take out, and you'll get a lot more yields a lot quicker. The final tip I had is an amenity one. Neglecting them, even just trying to be positive, is a mistake. You get a 10% boost with positive 3 amenities and 20% with positive 5, which is game-changing, because that is like getting an Oxford World Wonder in every city for every yield. Now, it is super hard to actually get the 5 amenities everywhere, but entertainment complexes, zoos, coliseums, and Estadio de Maracona wonders all give you a big boost to amenities, and stopping city growth after you finish building all the districts you need is really the key to achieving all of this, as the yields you're going to get from population is nothing compared to the potential plus 20% boost. Adding in Zanzibar or getting luxuries from other civilizations is the best way to continue increasing your amenity count, which will eventually lead to you winning a super easy science victory after getting pretty much free Ruhr Valleys plus in every city you own. Now, if you need a district in that city, yes, you should continue growing, or if you have a couple really good tiles that you want to work, like 4 production, 5 gold, yeah, continue increasing population. So only aim for this after the city you have has finished pretty much growing, and any more growth would lead to more negatives than positives, I guess. Some games this might not be possible, especially if you have no friends, relatable, to trade resources to you to help you with amenity growth. Let me know down below what other tips you have or want a further explanation on any of these tips I just mentioned, and like and subscribe if you do enjoy to not miss out on future content. See you all in the next video. Peace.